I just want to see Dark do something that isn't Ravager Last or 2-base Muta, or then you don't want to watch Dark. What you're saying is you want to watch another Zerg player. What are you talking about? Este Hyper 1. It sounds like you want to see like Shin or something. Or maybe like Rumia. I wouldn't even say 3-point, even like I think 3-point has a little bit of Dark in it. But here we go. We're getting into our next matchup. We're getting into the grand finals here of the 2025 KungFu Cup number 4 StarCraft Evolution Edition. Again, once again, big shout to SC Boy for hosting this event. It's really cool to see them stepping into the ring and supporting both StarCraft Evolution and Warcraft Evolution as well. It's really cool to see them just branching out and looking at some of these other modded tournaments and modded just modded versions of StarCraft and enjoying it themselves. So really cool to see that support. Big shout to SE Boy as we step into the finals. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Neo Isles of Siren, we have the Brood War Terran player, the Polish Terran. It is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the red Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss from South Korea. It is Classic. Let's go. Let us go as we are getting into our first game of the grand finals. We're ready. We're excited. Let's go. Now, for those that are curious, for those that maybe don't watch StarCraft Evolution, for those that maybe haven't seen some of these tournaments before, welcome to Neo Isles of Siren. This is an island map. It's a 4-player island map. We have our natural, we have our 3rd base, we have our 4th base as well, all on your own island. And the islands, they are separated by these thin rivers. These thin rivers here that do go in between all of these islands. They also create a center island base as well with all these minerals and gases. So there is a center island base alongside all the other islands, and of course it is a 4-player spawn map as well, so you can spawn in any one of the corners of the map. You don't know where your opponent is, and it does lead to very unique game states. We expect Sky Toss out of one player, we expect, you know, Mech into Mass BC from another. That's what we're expecting, and we'll see where this takes us. Now, from the SC2 side of things, we have seen some more variety. Some players have been going mass sky toss, other players have been going into ground-based compositions and then going into a mothership and recalling onto your opponent's island. So Classic has options. He has options with how he wants to be aggressive and how he wants to play this out. Based on the Stargate opener, we can assume he's rushing into sky toss. We can make the assumption. Likewise, Spirit, he's going for the faster natural into the 3rd TC on location, hyper greed out of Spirit, getting to his own factory. Just catching up in the chat. This map got patched? Yes, for those that are unaware, this map did get patched, I want to say less than a week ago. Did get patched, or maybe around a week ago at this point. Unfortunately, I think they got rid of the high yield gases, if I'm not mistaken. Specifically, they were trying to address mass muta, if I'm not mistaken. But of course, we do have our Terran Protoss instead. As we are building up, going into initially Goliaths. Mass everything, yeah. Now we're here for the mass everything. Speaking of, there we go. We do have the Fleet Beacon on the way, 2nd Stargate as well. Likewise, Classic is searching for his opponent, searching for the expansion. Definitely will affect tech progression for future games. Yeah. So we have to enjoy these gas guys while we can. Let's go. As SCVs are getting picked off so far, nice damage here from Classic. Dips in behind this, going into Tempest production. Goliath said we'll defend the main at least, but that's still going to be what, 6 SCV kills. Taking out 6 SCVs. Likewise, yo, mass starport on the way. Let's go. Starports are on the way, going to Valkyrie production. So both players taking to the skies. We have Goliath initially to defend, And then Valkyrie against Skytos. Let's go. Let us go. We never have reruns. So yeah, we never have reruns. For those that are tuning in, maybe some other channels host reruns, but I don't think we've ever had a rerun on the KranKy Ducklings. So either live or via replays. Hyper misinformation. Yeah, I mean, most of what Hyper1 says in the chat is usually misinformation. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. It's okay. We're here to inform Hyper1 about the maps among us. As so far, Tempest, he does move in. Stays strapped into the mineral line. Oh, not paying attention. Ooh, massive connection. Yeah, Spirit, he gets caught out. Likewise, Tempest goes down. Nice pick off here from Spirit. Does catch out of Tempest, but again, his economy is going to be suffering. Valkyrie does overextend, losing one. And up, does get one more Tempest. Gets one more. Gets one more back. From here, Spirit still building up his own Valkyries. Another stasis, Spirit. Oh no! Not paying attention. Once again, another massive connection. Gets off the mineral line. And likewise, Classic making use of this terrain. You can see Goliath, I mean, they can't really chase down the Tempest. Still making 3 Valkyries at a time. Heading on over. Tempest move in. Tempest do move in, catching on more SCVs. Again, the mineral line is completely denied. Spirit, he just cannot mine. And cannot mine here from that expansion. Oh. Valkyrie's diving in. Oh, stasis goes off, catching up the Goliath. Oh my god. Baited into the stasis. Very nice bait. Speaking of, attempted repair, another stasis goes off. And the Valkyries are going down one after the other. They do get one Tempest, but only one. Just one Tempest going down. We build up to 5. And more Tempest trickling in. Again, just very nice use of the stasis. I want to say the stasis traps have been the MVPs of this game so far. They've been crazy. Oh my god. As again, Spirit, he just can't quite keep up with this. Oof. Leading out of the Valkyrie. The Tempest, they are stacked. They have to split. Yeah, 1, 2 Tempest falling. Nice Peagles. Once again, the Goliath, they can't really help out. Getting a third Tempest. I mean, these are really good trades here for Spirit. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have, or his economy was delayed, and as a result, he's running out of Valkyries. Running out of Valkyries here. I mean, again, he did snipe 6 Tempests for 6 Valkyries. Like, the trades were good, but the economy is not. That's what's important here, is that mining is being denied. Spirit, he's going to be stuck on 2 bases. Now falling back. And Spirit, he's on 5. He's on 4 himself. He's on 4 bases himself, on 4 expansions. Spirit stuck on 2. Tempest, they hit the mineral line. Does bring down the command center. It's gonna fall. And Spirit, he's just being picked apart. He's being picked apart at this point. The Tempest, they're just too much to handle. And from here, Classic can just rotate. Just rotate over towards that center expansion. Knock it down as well. The Goliaths. Oh, likewise, Jesus. The Valkyries, they do catch out some of them. Phoenixes, they come in to reinforce. Let's go. Don't know how well they can trade against the Valkyries, but regardless, they hit the supports. They hit the supports. Oof. They will clean them up. GG gets called, and a classic, he will take a lead in the series. He will take game number 1. Whew, GG. We had massive Void Ray on the way behind that. Let's go. As Classic takes the lead, again, just really solid stasis traps there, denying mining time and time again, catching out the Goliaths, and with that, the Tempest did eventually overwhelm. Again, we did have some really nice trades from Spirit, catching out whatever Tempest he could, but he just could not keep up with his own production. He could not maintain his production, I should say. Didn't have the best economy. With that, GG. Eventually, the Tempest did overrun. Oh my god. Hold on. I was not ready for this. Oh my god. See, this is what StarCraft Evolution wishes it could be. There are animals here. Game 2, what do we have? Game 1 was, of course, on Neo Isles of Siren. Game 2, Paradox. Oh my god. Yo, what is this map pool? Let's go. We get both. We get the best of both worlds. That's crazy. Oh my god. StarCraft Evolution League. Take note. Jumping into Paradox. It's 3 points favorite map. As spawning in the top right hand corner of Paradox, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is a Spirit. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the Brood War Protoss player, with the Brood War Protoss himself from South Korea. It is a classic. Let's go. So Neo Isles into Paradox. That is insane. So for those that are curious, this is a bit of an older map in the StarCraft Evolution League map pool. It's been months, I think, since I've casted on Paradox. Paradox is another island map. Now, this is a little bit more straightforward. It's a little bit different, and I do appreciate a lot of the intricacies of Paradox a little bit more in a sense. So unlike on Neo Isles of Siren, here, two-player spawn map, so there's no guessing, there's no scouting as to where your opponent comes in. On top of that, you have 3 bases, not 4. So you have 3 bases to yourself. You have 1 high yield gas geyser in the main, here at the natural, of course, and you have a 3rd expansion on the right hand side. So you have 3 bases, so you have less bases here on your main island, and that means you have to expand out to take, or you have to branch out to take more bases, as there are these 4 islands in the center. I say 4 islands, there is kind of this center landmass that does connect them. True, there is a center landmass that you can take advantage of. But in general, we have some crazy games on Paradox. It's been too long. Light is a disappointed father, comparing SDL to the overachieving cousin. Oh god. Look at your cousin. He has 2 island maps and a pseudo island map. True. Yeah, Paradox and Monty Hall and Neo Isles of Siren. That is crazy. Oh god. It's like, yeah, it's actually insane. It's, you know what it is? It is the organizers prioritizing entertainment more than anything. They're like, the players are gonna feel so much pain. It's like, this is true. Make it happen. Oh my god. Is that okay? Yeah, let's go. Stargates are being thrown down. We have a classic, of course, headed towards Skytoss, going for +1 air attack. Meanwhile, Spirits opening up CC interacts into a 3rd CC on location. So once again, a greedy build here from Spirit. We'll see if he goes into Mass Viking. I'm curious to see where he sends us. If they prioritize, then same, it wouldn't have SC2 versus SC2. Copium. Oh god. What map are we missing when it comes to like the crazy chaotic maps? Have we got them all? I don't know. I don't think we've experienced too many like crazy short like rush maps in StarCraft Evolution League yet. Not yet. But we'll get there. I do know that there are a lot more chaotic maps in the pipeline, I would imagine, just because I know there's some crazy stuff in Brood War proper that will eventually be ported over. I look forward to it. always like old SU stuff like Dasan Station Arena. Oh, yo, Arena is cancer. Arena is awful. Let's go. Bring it back. What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of Daedalus Point. Is that what I'm thinking of? Daedalus something. Maybe Daedalus Point, maybe. Do you remember the map that you needed like 3 or 4 Nexi to wall off the ramp at the natural? Wait, that was crazy. I'll always remember the Wall of Ruin. The Wall of Ruin on in Pro League. Meanwhile, we do open Shuttle here to expand. We do see Classic branching out, taking that center expansion. Behind this, going for a Reaver drops alongside the Sky Toss. Okay, first Reaver's moving out. Now, I do appreciate this. This is a bit of a cheeky way to build up into eventually. Sky Toss is to open up with some economic damage. Does reveal the Corsair. We have our initial defensive Cyclone and Marines. We drag the army towards left-hand side. The Corsair is going to give up its life. But we're going for the mineral line. Yeah, Reaver drops in. Oh my god, massive connection. Okay, 3 SCVs. 3 SCVs go down. Now going for the main mineral line, getting another 2. 5 in total. Can we get another? We can. Another shot goes off. 6. Do we get one more? Ooh, 8. 8 SCV kills. Now, is that worth a Reaver? I mean, it was pretty good damage, and again, I'm sure Classic was hoping to catch Spirit, maybe being a little bit too greedy here, so some decent damage here, getting 8 SCVs. Behind this does take the expansion and is going into mass carrier, and still making more Reavers. Let's go. Still making more Reavers. As Classic does pull away. I see Evo on the Stan station. Oh god. Not like this. As the Reaver does come back in towards that third. Spirit. Ooh, delayed reaction. SCVs are going to be going down, getting 4 so far. Catching up 5 SCVs. Going for the Cyclone. Locon is brutal, and the Shuttle is going to barely escape. It does get away. Oh no, the Reaver! No, it's trapped! It's going to be hunted down. We do have a random little island here as well. Let's go. Couple of islands, actually. Kind of coming into play. Behind this, massing up more Carrier, massing up more Reavers. Likewise, Spirit is embracing Mass Viking. We have seen this before. Vikings, they're insane here. They can shoot up, they can land. They can shoot vertically. It's crazy. It's crazy. So we go. These Vikings are just building up and amassing. Now, when it comes to the Brood War composition, I'm not actually too certain as to the best way to approach this from Classic. Outside of like spellcaster support, I do favor the Mass Viking of Spirit, I'll be honest. Like carriers, they can be very vulnerable on their own. Especially without Archons, without Storm. We'll see how Classic deals with the problem that is Mass Viking. Because I'll be honest, I don't think Reaver Carrier is the solution. And I'm worried that Classic is about to lose everything. Maybe I'm underestimating the strength of the Carrier, but Vikings, first one goes down. And you can see 1 volley did strip the shield, so you can 2-shot. At this point, Spirit, he can 2-shot those Carriers. And you can see Classic, he just backs off. He backs the hell off. He wants none of it, pulls away. He's got 14 of Vikings so far. And I feel like soon, especially once +2 kicks in, Spirit, he's gonna get to the point where he can just 1-shot carriers. Like, So the answer here to support the carrier is gonna be Corsair. I mean, that will help, true. Vikings, they're very prone to stacking, as you can see. Like, they're very prone to stacking. So Corsair will help. I don't know how much of a help it's going to be. Meanwhile, the Reavers, they come back in. Really nice movement here by Classic. He does bypass the Vikings. Gets into the middle line. 14 SCVs. Very nice damage. 14 workers going down. 18 workers even. Again, somehow, some way, Classic, he threads the needle. He gets past. We can see Spirit taking his fresh base here in the center of the map. More Corsairs are amassing. Reavers, what did I miss? It was a Reaver opener. The game started with like Reaver drops, so Reaver drops have been continuing. Corsairs are amassing. Now, when it comes to the Reavers, those are the final Reavers where we've stopped. Like, no more shuttles, no more Reavers, no more production. For now, just purely Skytoss. Now we get the Citadel of Adun on the way. I believe this should be for the Temple Archives for eventually Archons and Storm. I do like that kind of adaptation. I do appreciate that. I'm just concerned it's going to take too long. I'm very concerned that it's going to take a while for that to really kick into gear. As we have how many Vikings? We have 24 Vikings. I believe we should be within one shot range of the carrier, I mean. Likewise, we see Spirit reinforcing with Master Raven, with Interference Matrix as well. And so here we go. Vikings building up. Classic moving in. I'm still not entirely certain how well these Corsairs will trade against these Vikings, but I mean, we're about to find out. About to find out here. Scan reveals the Corsairs. Spirit knows. Has to be very careful when it comes with stacking. I mean, he will have an anti-armor missile available, true. He can missile those Corsairs. Throwing down a line of turrets. We have a couple of little outposts of turrets here in the main base. But not too many. So Classic is moving in. Temple Archives on the way, but again, still no Storm, still no Archons, still a ways away. Here come the Corsairs. Oh! First one goes down. Oh my god, they do so much damage. oh my god! They shut down the Vikings! Yeah, the question mark. I shouldn't have doubted them. That was insane. The Corsairs, they pop off. Z. I was like, I don't know if the Vikings gonna stack well enough. Nah, mate, it was fine. Oh my god, the power of the Corsair. That was crazy. GG, well played. I was concerned that they weren't gonna be enough, but nah, papi. I shouldn't have doubted the power of the Corsair. GG, well played. Spirit with the question marks, and Classic takes a 2-0 lead. Whew. GG, well played. Spirit, he didn't respect the AoE. Yeah. I mean, again, like, I wasn't expecting it. Neither was he. Like, he saw the Corsairs coming in, but yeah. It's one of those things where I'm sure, like, it's one of those things where experience comes into play. How often has Spirit really gone up against Mass Corsair? Most likely not often at all. So now he knows, and I think we all can guarantee that Spirit, he won't make that mistake again, like, in his life. Like, mate, that's gonna be burned into his skull, just like the Mass Corsair killing like 30 Vikings. That's crazy. That was insane. GG, well played. And with that, Classic does take a 2-0 lead. He's up 2-0, and now we're getting into game number 3. People are too used to Corsairs being up against Mutas that when it isn't even their ideal matchup. Yeah. Like how often, as you mentioned, right? Like how often do you see Corsairs interact with a Terran army, right? And here we go. We're getting into game number 3. They've also never seen 50 Mutas fight 20 Corsairs. Oh no. I don't think anyone wants to see that. That sounds disgusting. But here we go. We're getting into game number 3, potentially the final game of the series. I mean, again, our Terran player here is up against the wall, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala. We have our Brood War Terran down heavily in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Brood War Protoss, leading the series 2-0. Popping off on the island maps, but what about a more standard map? We'll see. It is Classic. Here we go. Now, if you're tuning in, and if you're typically watching StarCraft Evolution League, you would be familiar with that format, where usually it's a loser's pick, right? It's loser's pick, and in StarCraft Evolution League, and in most, if not all, StarCraft Evolution tournaments, we do typically feature and we force Brood War versus SE2. But here in KungFu Cup, they do it different. Here in KungFu Cup, they have these crazy maps, but also they force Game 1, Brood War versus SE2, Game 2, SE2 versus Brood War, Game 3, Brood War versus Brood War, Game 4, SE2 versus SE2. So they do force out these different pairings and these different matchups. This is, I would say, my biggest criticism here of KungFu Cup, is that this mod is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. Brood War versus Brood War, it's not a balanced matchup. This is not designed to really play this out, to actually, you know, embrace this kind of scenario. So I'm a little bit concerned here with what's going to happen. I mean, I'm concerned. I'm also ready to be entertained. It's not meant to be balanced. Show us what's in balance, baby. Show us what's in, let's go. Meanwhile, shout out to Pony Zanza in the chat. Gab, baby. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing here for 16 months in a row. That's over a year of support. Thank you. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thanks for casting KungFu Cup. We're always there for it, baby. Always there for it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you enjoy the casting. Thank you. But yes, Brood War versus Brood War, this is not, the mod does not balance for this. The mod balances specifically for SE2 versus Brood War. And I shout out to the balance team, of course, as they put in a lot of work and they update and they patch the mod very, very often and very, very frequently. So a lot of love goes out to the team. And I don't think they have any intention of trying to balance and try to consider like these matchups, just because they're never really seen, only really in KungFu Cup. As we're getting to mech. Okay, so we have a mech's composition here from Spirit. Getting to a second factory. Meanwhile, Classic across the map opening up with what looks to be a Reaver drop. Let's go. So Reaver drop out of Classic, mech out of Spirit. Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I don't expect that to happen. For sure, Avix. I guess my only hope is, you know, maybe one day the SE boy and the people behind KungFu Cup, they will like capitulate and be like, you know what, maybe we'll change the format and we won't force like Brood War versus Brood War if it becomes an issue. Like, again, as I mentioned before, and I think I stand by that, I think more than anything they prioritize entertainment, and I think there is a lot of entertainment value here. Like I'm really intrigued, I'm curious, just because we rarely, if ever, see Brood War versus Brood War. So I'm excited to see how this unfolds. I'm not really thinking of it like in a balanced perspective. Like we're here for some fun. Let's go. As we're getting into spider mines and ion thrusters. Really, what KungFu Cup needs is another island map. That's what we that's what we need, Pappy. That's what we need. Get cooking, map makers. We need another island map. We need to have a best of 7 with pure island maps. Let's go. Ay. More islands. God no. Oh, the islands. So far, the Reaver drop has arrived, headed towards the natural mineral line. We have so many spider mines, though. Reaver comes in. Spider mines are barely out of range. Oh my god, barely out of range. Whew, first shot goes off. And here comes the second. The shot will connect. 13 SCVs. 13 SCVs go down. Yeah, he's not done. He's not done. Oh my god. Takes down the Reaver. Thankfully, the Reaver does fall, but that's going to be 15 SCVs going down. Brutal losses, and Spirit, he's having a really rough start to this game. I'm hoping for a game 4. I'm hoping for a game 5. I want more between these two players, but a rough start for Spirit. This is going to be a rough start. Shuttle does pull away, does get out. And Classic behind this, building up more Reavers, getting to double forge, working towards his Citadel of Adun, towards Zealot legs, I would imagine. And Classic is not done. He's moving in with his next Reaver drop. That was merely only one Reaver. Here comes the second. You know, Spirit, he moves out for a counterattack. The wall is solid. Classic does wall off. Denies the vultures. We do see here additional spider mines behind the mineral line. Ooh, as ooh, shot goes off, takes down the Reaver. Very nice. Again, the spider mines, they come in clutch. Second Reaver goes down. This time, not worth it for Classic. Spirit, he's recovering. He's clawing his way back into this. Behind this building up, getting into Goliaths, more factories, more mech. Third CC now being taken. Third base now on the way, going for the gold. Now this is a good way to recover. Spirit, he's had a really rough start, but the rock's going to be knocked down, and Spirit can now take the gold and catch up. Classic doing the same. Classic is doing the same, knocking down those rocks, taking his northern base. And we'll see how Classic will approach this. Handing out his Dragoons. Cells are going to be amassing. Likewise, another drop into the main mineral line. Oof, getting 2 more SCVs. Only 2 this time. Oh my god! As he will bleed out another Reaver. Again, Spirit with these Widow mines, sorry, with these Spider mines doing quite well. Very nicely spread. Punishing Classic time and time again. These are expensive losses here for Classic. These have been expensive. So we have more mines and even more. I'm excited to see the dynamic between the fast zealots, the quote-unquote charge lots, and this kind of army. I just want to see Classic attempt to drag mines. There we go. We'll see if he can. But now more and more spider mines being thrown down. Spirit, he's just turtling up. He's just turtling up back at home. Oh, not again. This time, Classic does spot this with the Observer. He's aware. Meanwhile, Vulture's trying to knock down that wall. Ooh, shot goes off. How they punish the Vultures. Oh my god. Yeah, Vultures, they get shut down. As they are quite vulnerable here to the Reavers. Nice cleanup. As this mineral line is looking very exposed.
SCV good to go, sir.
See if Classic can punish. Likewise, we have a Wraith on the way. Classic once again moving in with that Reaver drop. I'm less confident about this, but there are less spider mines, I suppose. Threads the needle, goes in between the bases, headed towards the natural. Reaver shots going up. Ooh, getting 5 so far. Getting 5 SCVs. Wraith has arrived. Shots going up from the Vultures. And the shuttle should not be able to escape. Does attempt to. And can maybe save the Reavers. But even then, no shot. They're going to be hunted down. Oh, Dragoon's coming in to reinforce. Spirit, he gets 1 Reaver, he gets 1, he gets both. Yeah, barely gets both. Whew. Nice cleanup. Behind this, we have Classic going into Storm. So it's coming in, they force friendly fire, not bad. Tanks are going to be falling, SCVs as well. Doesn't quite break through, but does deny mining here, does deny the gold. And tanks are laid to siege. And Classic pulls away. Nice damage so far. Yo, shout out to Comrade, he in the chat. Gab, thank you so much for subscribing for 8 months. It's a lot of months. Thank you so much for the support. As welcome to the finals. We're here in the finals here of KungFu Cup number 4. StarCraft Evolution Edition. Here, getting into Game 3. It's been a crazy series so far. A little bit because of the maps, I'll be honest. Cells are coming from the right-hand side. Classic looking for a way in between the bases. But alas, we have just a wall of mines and tanks. There's no way in. No with the ground army. As Classic is maxing out, and he's going for the dive. Oh my god, he's trying to at least. Baits out the spider mines. Drops over the army. Zealots, they all go down. Doesn't quite break through. Cleans up a lot of mines. And what I'm waiting for, and again, I think the last time I saw Arbiters in TVP was, I want to say Rebellion versus, was it Rebellion versus Quanta? Or maybe Rebellion versus Honmono. But it's been a while. It's been a while. And this is the ideal position for that, is to get into Arbiters, go into mass stasis, to stasis the tanks, and to break these siege lines. And we'll see if Classic gets there. For now, Classic is just trying to brute force it. Likewise, Storm is done. And one of these shuttles is full of High Templar. So he's setting up for a Storm drop. Setting up for that drop. Cleans up the mines. Oh! Shuttles are deflected. Storm's coming in. Oh, the shuttle does go down. Oh, both shuttles, massive losses here. Not a single Storm. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Classic bleeding out a lot trying to break this position. Losing 4 High Templar and 4 Zealots. Takes down the factory. Classic, he does spot bottom right. He's doing it again, getting ready for more High Templar, another Storm drop. And still no Arbiters. Moving on, cannons they get into, sorry, vultures they get into the mineral line. Probes going down. Classic, he does spot this. Let's rotate, I'll spot this. Once again, another Doom drop here. Once again, full of High Templar and Zealots. They are loaded up. Hopefully this time we're able to make use of the Storms. We'll see. Jesus, that's a massive army. How many tanks do we have? 26? 26 tanks. Storm's gonna be coming in. Yeah, Storm's on the tanks. Not bad. They soften them up. Yeah, tanks are going down. Nice catch. Vulture's out of position. Where's the support? Yeah, the support is not here. Oof. Dragoons, they can't quite engage though. But that was what that was. Jesus, 11 tanks going down. Sorry, I should say 12. 12 tanks do fall. Dragoons trying to poke in. Where are those Zealots? Where are those Chargelots? Getting a couple of tanks. They're trying to catch reinforcements, but alas, Classy gets surrounded. He gets completely shut down. Spirit is moving in. He's going for the kill. Going for the bases. Catching out more Zealots. Classic, his production is all over the place. And he does find some reinforcements. Oh my god. But Zealots, they bunch up. They cannot push into these tanks. Again, that's 20 tanks. Some of them are on siege though. I cannot chase. There are just so many spider mines. Cannot chase down the tanks. Classic, he has to pull away. Once again, just rallying Zealots here into their deaths. He's coming with the Zealot drop. Goliaths are ready. Zealots, they unload, they go for the tanks. And they force the on siege. Yeah, nice on siege here from Spirit. He saves the tanks. Cleans up all the Zealots and Spirit. It looks like he finally breaks through. He has momentum. He will take down top left. He'll take down the production, the gateways. And Classic has no answer. He has no answer to this. He needs more time to rebuild. Classic, he has a bank, but he doesn't have the production. Yeah, Spirit, he is stumbling out of control. Moving forward. Instead, Classic, he has to catch reinforcements. Oh god, but there are tanks everywhere. There are tanks at home, tanks across the map. Classic, he can do nothing. He's stuck between mech and mech. What does he go for? There's no good answer. There's no good answer here. We have a couple of Reavers coming in. They will help. They somewhat support. They take care of some of the reinforcing tanks. Meanwhile, Spirit pushing further in. Takes down another expansion. Another base goes down. Oh, nice Reaver shots here on the Vultures. Not bad. Oh my god, a lot of Vultures go down. Likewise, they'll say catch out the tanks. The tanks are exposed. Classic taking a good fight here. Does take a good fight. Shuts down a lot of those tanks. The Zelts finally get the shots they're looking for. Oh my god, Jesus. The Goliaths, they will clean this up though. And the Goliaths, they stand their ground, they defend. And we have a back and forth. Spirit taking another expansion. Takes the northern center base. Classic expands bottom right. Both players taking fresh bases. And it's still close. But Spirit, he's stabilizing. Stabilizing, throwing down more spider mines. Nice Reaver connections. Oh my god. Those Reaver shots are crazy. That's classic. Ideally, he wants to force Spirit to be more defensive. He wants to force him back home. Goliath stays deny mining at the gold. So I'll say try to engage. Oh, but they're pushing into a tank line. Likewise, Vultures, they harass bottom right. Good moves out of Spirit. Spirit is moving in. Wedging himself in between the gold base and that southern expansion as well. Classic, he has to counterattack. I guess hoping to trade out bases. But Spirit, he can just go from this center goal base right into the heart here of Classic. Classic does have some storms. Yeah, storms coming in. Nice. Oh my god, the storms are brutal. Yeah, massive storms here on the army. Storms, they blanket everything. And they shut down the first line of tanks. But there are still so many tanks here. The storms are solid, but just barely not enough. Likewise, dragging mines. Forcing friendly fire. Not bad. Oh. So we clean up those vultures. Meanwhile, transferring workers getting called out. 16 probes falling. Spirit, he does back off for a moment. Does pull away. Classic doing what he can. Spirit taking top left. Classic, he will deny. Not a bad rotation from Classic. Denies the expansion. Jeez, but there's still so many tanks. 29 tanks out of Spirit. Insane. Zealous take it into the mineral line. More Zealous trickling in. Reavers likewise catching out some tanks. Going for the mineral line as well. As, oh my god, some brutal connections. 19 SCV kills. Going for the vultures. Oh my god. Does pull away. Nice pickles here by Classic. Worker counts are somewhat evening up, but Classic will lose control here at bottom right, and Spirit, he can just keep going. He can keep going here to the base. And Classic, he's running out of army. He cannot defend this expansion. He's going to try. Moves in with the Reavers. Yeah, there's no saving this. There's no saving this base. Classic going for his own counterattack. Finds a couple of tanks. A couple of tanks go down. Observer does fall. Base is denied. But Classic did lose the mineral line. He lost the base and the mineral line. Here, Spirit, he saves the CC. Oh. Now pulling back. Funnily enough, the only match that has gone the distance so far here in tonight's entire broadcast is Brutal versus Brood War. Is this TVP? It has gone the distance. And it's been very scrappy as well. Very intense, very chaotic. We haven't had, like, you know, any kind of, like, turtle setup. I mean, Spirit was turtling early on, but Classic was doing everything he could to break him. So it's almost been non-stop. But every time I look at this army, like, I don't see a world that Classic can deal with this outside of catching him unsieged with a surround, right? With Zealots, with Storms. And of course, without Spider-Mine support. Speaking of, mine shots going off. Oof. Oh my god, brutal connections. Gets on top of the tanks. SCVs are going to be going down. Spirit, he's out of position. And nice storm here on the ramp. Oof. Storms, they do zone away. Gets another 15 SCVs. Likewise, Reaver drop here across the map as well. Catching more workers. Goliath's getting caught out. Nice moves out of Classic. Again, Classic, he cannot fight this head on. But so far, these guerrilla tactics, these counterattacks have been doing really well. Spirit does have bottom right. He had bottom right. Another run by. Another counterattack, getting even more. See, oh no! The transferring workers. Workers, they transfer. Classic, I'm sure he wants them. Main armies do clash. Spirit, he's pushing. Yeah, he just breaks out. Oh my god. Getting more SCVs. And Spirit, he's had enough defending. He's had enough. He does commit. Gets another Nexus. Back at home, there are some Zealots to defend. But again, Classic, he can't engage too freely into this. Wrapping around. He can counterattack. Now, the biggest problem coming into this, as the the shuttle does go down, is what's the mining looking like? We have half a base here for Classic, and that's it. We have one base mining, or half a base mining for Classic. Doesn't really have much of an economy. This run by doesn't go what he's hoping for, and Classic is run out of steam. He's run out of steam. This is the final army here for Classic. Dragoons go down, Zealots as well. And Classic is broke. He's broke, he has no gas income. Barely any minerals. And Classic, he doesn't have an efficient army. He hasn't been able to build up into Sky Toss or Arbiters or anything like that. It's been impressive, but Classic is being overrun. It's being overrun. If Classic was able to defend some of these bases and maintain an economy, then he could have pulled this off, playing this style. But again, he needs to sustain himself with this, as he's throwing away his army each time, and he wasn't able to. Shout out to Spirit. If Spirit was more passive, then Classic would have had more success. But time and time again, bases are going down. As another Nexus falls. And Zealots, they do get into the mineral line. 20 more SCVs. Spirit, he brings everything back home. But Spirit, yeah, he has too much. GG gets called, and Spirit, he fights back. He puts a point on the board. Whew, GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Spirit, he does fight back in the Brutal versus Brutal match. Again, very intense. It went the distance, split map scenario, and Classic had a lot of really strong moments when it came to his counterattacks, but once again, as we were mentioning, Classic, he could never really engage with the main army. He could never fight with the main army. Because of that, even though Spirit was having a hard time defending, Spirit, he was very consistent when it comes to pushing out. He would always push out, take down 1 or 2 bases whenever he could, and because of that, Classic couldn't really maintain this harassing style. Like, he just ran out of money. He just was broke towards the end, so he couldn't afford all those losses. If he was able to maintain even one more expansion, then maybe he could keep going, but he couldn't, right? He couldn't maintain those bases, he couldn't maintain his economy. GG. GG, well played. With that, that leads us here into our next game, into game number 4. Let's go. We're going to Middle Earth. It's Return of the King. Beautiful. Let's go. And I believe we're going to be stepping into SE2 versus SE2. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here of Return of the King, we have the Polish Terran player, the Red Terran, down in the series, but he does fight back, does put a point on the board. We'll see if he can force the ace match. It is Spirit. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss, leading the series 2-1, one game away from claiming the entire series and becoming our champion. It is a classic. Let us go. As again, this is now my second time casting on Return of the King, a map that I just haven't really been able to enjoy at all when it comes to the other events. And here we go. Spirit opening up with a proxy in the center of the map. I'm assuming? Oh no, never mind. Okay. He's moving out. He just paused for a moment, which gave me like it's scared. Oh, let's go! Is going for the proxy. So not quite in the dead center. He does hide it here towards the top half of the map instead. I think it's a wise choice, as I'm sure this area is very commonly seen and scouted by the scouting probe. So it's going to be 2 racks. 2 racks Reaper here by Spirit. I'm assuming Reaper, I guess we could open up Concussive Shell Marauder, but for the time being, Spirit doesn't know. He doesn't know where his opponent is. As a reminder, this is a 4-player spawn map. So it's up to Spirit to determine what's going on. Okay, it looks like Proxy Marauder. We have Marines back at home. Show us that tech lab. Classic going for his expansion, moving out with his own scouts. Trying to get a read on what's happening. As the Rax is now done. Tech lab is on the way. Proxy Marauder here out of Spirit, as we did mention. Classic moving in with his own scouts. Spirit, he checks top right. Confirms Classic is not here. Does confirm. Probe does get eyes on the Marine. In a sense, Classic is aware. He's aware of the location. And he is checking the center of the map. He's checking for proxies. Does pull back around. Does not find the racks. And Spirit has found him. He has found him. He knows. And from here, he can start to throw some bunkers. Can't set up. Marauders are on the way. Yeah, CV in between the bases. Okay, pulls back out. We're going to have 3 Marines and a Marauder. Bunker has been thrown down next to the pylon. And Classic has to do everything he can here to stop that bunker. And now SCV is zoned away. SCV is zoned back. We have more shield batteries in production. The boys are being pulled, but is this too late? That pylon, it's going to go down. I forget about the pylon going for the Stalker. Yeah, Stalker is targeted. Stalker does fall. Massive pickoff. Adept races back home and does target down those Marines. And Marines are falling nice around here on the Marauder. SCV gets targeted down. The bunker does not finish. Clutch moves here from Classic. Denies the bunker. Shield. Oh no, the shield battery! Oh my god, the shield battery 1 second too late. The Stalker goes down, and what is there left? We have 1 Stalker on the way. Boys have to be pulled. I mean, with the help of these 2 shield batteries, Classic, he should be able to hold on. It's still very close, but he should hold, and with that Spirit, he expands. Yeah, he knows. He knows he cannot break him anymore. Spirit is expanding. Spirit is transitioning out of this. Going into Stim. Going into his own natural. Whew. Okay, so the game will continue. The game will continue here. Takes down the pylon. Boys being pulled. The bunker does finish. Oh, that should not have happened. Yeah, still up there from Classic. And this is getting dangerous. It's getting out of hand. It's getting out of control. There's the NG overcharge. Barely keeps the Stalker alive. Now turning on the Marauders. And with that Classic, he is going to be able to hold on, but he's bleeding out a lot of probes here. Sentry goes down. Probes go down as well. The bunker is burning. But that bunker finishing, I mean that was exactly what Spirit needed. And he almost has Stim. He almost has Stim. A little bit more time. Needs a couple more seconds. Classic trying to hold on. keeps trying. I mean, the the Immortal has arrived. And that is going to pull off the defense. Meanwhile, back at home, Spirit, he expands. He can now freely expand, taking his own natural. Whew. And, I mean, I didn't even get to talk about it, but for the first time in a long time, we're featuring a 4-player spawn map in SE2. Like proper, like StarCraft 2 versus StarCraft 2. Let's go. It's something that we've been missing for a very long time, and I know that especially with Last Fantasy, there is a petition, there's a lot of, I will say, weight behind the movement of bringing back 3-player spawn maps at least. But yeah, this is something that we haven't seen in a long time. Really cool to see. Premier Classic, he defends, he does move out, he forces Spirit all the way back home, Stim is revealed. And Classic, he does finally find that proxy. I don't think he can deny combat shields, unfortunately. Does make his way into the main. Spirit is keeping up. Likewise, oh, it does get denied. Not bad. Combat shields is denied. Classic, he recalls back home. And behind this, building up into Colossus production. We have the Bay on the way for Colossus. Classic still on 2 bases, still yet to expand and take a 3rd. And going for the island, let's go. Does go for the island expansion. Another feature that we haven't seen in SE2 for a long time. I want to say the last island map was, or the last map that featured islands was Purity in Industry, maybe? We've had like pseudo island maps with like bases that are walled off by rocks. We've had that more recently, but like a proper island, less so. Really, that's the reasoning why SC Boy are forcing SE2 versus SE2, I would imagine, to force these races, or to force this game mode on some older Brood War maps. Okay, suddenly I'm on board. Suddenly I'm on board, Pappy. Okay, let's go. It forces us into war prisons, but I mean, prison play, especially when it comes to like robot-based openers, is common anyway, right? Like, I mean, Classic is, I mean, he's freely expanding, getting his 3rd. Meanwhile, he has to respect this army. Nice force fields. And Classic, he will shut this down. Did Beyond Hero not play? I will check after the event ends. I didn't quite check. But we don't expect Beyond Hero to make it this far regardless. They play SE Evo for fun. I would say that Beyond is maybe a little bit more well-versed than Hero in StarCraft Evolution. But they might have played. We'll check the bracket afterwards. We'll check the bracket afterwards. But we're in Dark, Classic, Hero. Classic and Spirit, I would say the best Terran and Protoss players in StarCraft 2. Sorry, in StarCraft Evolution currently. I did go into this before, but I would say of the top players in their respective races, it would be Spirits, Classic, and Dark as the top players. Classic coming in, rotating over towards that 3rd. Nice setups, they do threaten a shade. Oh! You get a couple of SCVs, they force back Spirit getting his 3rd base up and running. Likewise, so is Classic. And now we're settling in. We're settling in. Now, this 4th base is where I thought things would be a little bit awkward. Classic gonna be taking the top right-hand bases. Let's go. Very, very isolated expansions here for Classic. But he's taking them. Again, he's not expanding towards his opponent, expanding away from the Terran, away from Spirit. Colossus drop coming in. Let's go. Catching a couple of SCVs. It's going to be zoned back. Yeah, there's a recall. Recall should finish up just in time. Oh my god, just barely. Barely does save the Colossus. As Spirit is pushing forward, momentum is still on his side. Again, just a really awkward position here for Classic. As Spirit, he can just go straight and threaten the main. He can threaten that main base. Yeah, he's dropping in. Yeah, he does drop in. Classic out of position. The main base is exposed. Gateways are going down. Robos as well. Spirit depowering half of the main. And the Colossus gets caught out. Yeah, Classic just having a really hard time traversing between the bases. With that, Spirit is overwhelming. Takes down the Robo. Storm on the Vikings. The Vikings, they take down the second Colossus, going for the final Colossi. And he gets it. Does get a Vikings. They do their job. And Classic is just being torn apart. But again, this is just a really brutal position here. As tanks are within range of half the main. Brutal. As one tank is going to go down. Spirit, he rotates over towards the natural. Massive storms. Yeah, good connections here, but the tanks, they punish this. Yeah, the tank volleys are insane. And with that final storm, Spirit's going to be forced back. He does take the storm to the face. And I would say that Classic could recover if only he had his production. I mean, here he's down in gateways. You can see Classic, he has a massive bank. He just can't spend his money. Classic's got 1,000 minerals, 1,000 gas. But his production, I mean, it's not there. He's throwing down more gateways. Spirit, he scans. He does see the expansion of Classic. Classic trying to maneuver. Trying to move in. Dark has to leave. Oh yeah, I mean, Dark was in this tournament. Dark was in this tournament. He got knocked out earlier. Oh, EMPs off, very nice connections. They shut down the High Templar. And Spirit, he does catch Classic out. Takes down the Archon, does focus on those Immortals. And Classic is trying to defend with the bare minimum. And he still just can't spend his money. He's got 2,000 minerals. 2,000 minerals in the bank. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, massive EMP. Yeah, very nice drop from Spirits. Just picking Classic apart. We'll take the storm to the face. Pulls away with the Marines. And Spirit, he's stimming in. He's stimming in. He's going to force that ace match. Let's go. Takes down the Charge Loss. Takes down the Archon. And he breaks the natural. GG gets called. Spirit, he will tab the series. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. Let's go. We're going all the way to game 5. Again, Classic just having a really hard time defending his bases. We did feature this map earlier, and we were talking about these cliff faces here on Return of the King. And as you saw, they are brutal. As tank lines, they can not just punish the triangular third base, clearly they can punish the main base as well. That was a brutal position outside of the main. Of course, this is something that you find out as you get more experience on these maps. But with that, Spirit, he was able to lay siege upon the army and on the production as well. And we saw that that was game ending. We saw that upon losing all that production, Classic, he was never able to rebuild, and he was never able to spend his money. He was just never able to spend it. He had such a massive mineral and gas bank and just could not keep up after losing all those gates and robos. And with that, GG, we are going to game 5. Let's go. And so far, the maps have been a big factor in every single game, actually, when it comes to play styles and how things have played out. And now we're loading into Ultra Love. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the Brood War Terran player, the Blue Terran. From the land of Poland, it is Spirit. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the SC2 Protoss, It is Classic. Here we go. It all ends here. It all ends with some cheese. Let's go. As Classic, he throws down his initial gateways out on the map. And Spirit, no shot. Is he going CC first? Oh, no. Spirit, he's no... Okay. Whew. He is setting up here on the low ground. I mean, it's going to be a Rax Expand out of Spirit. And the scary thing about this setup here from Spirit is that his production is going to be exposed. His Rax is going to be exposed. It's going to be here on the low ground. This proxy here by Classic can overwhelm by punishing that Rax and by breaking the natural. Oh boy. That's that probe is putting in a lot of work. Gateways are about to finish. I mean, they're halfway done at this point. Doesn't quite get the building SCV. Not quite. Classic pulling away. Does pull away. Zealots are amassing. And what is it going to be to defend here? The boys are going to be pulled. There's going to be one Marine to defend. There is going to be some SimCity. Nice. We're fully walling off. Yeah, we have a full wall here with the depot, with the factory. Spirit, he has not SCV scouted. No SCV scouted to Spirit. He sees nothing across the map. Bunker is on the way. Cells try to knock down that front door, but that Marine has arrived. Factory is going to be delayed. True. Going to be a big delay here on the factory. But Spirit should hold. Spirit, he should hold on. The Stalkers, that will complicate things. They can try to focus down the SCVs, the Marines, but the bunker's almost done. Stalkers, they don't delay that factory. Also, did you see those missed shots? As yeah, you can see the shots being missed actually. Classic, does he know? For those that are curious, shooting up on the high ground here does mean that you do miss like half your shots, which is why sometimes the HP is just not going down. See, like there, and there as well. He's missing the depot. The depot. It's bobbing and weaving. It's crazy. Does eventually go down, but yeah, that miss shot there, or that miss chance is brutal. Shots can miss. They can. Yo, depots are elusive, papi. They're elusive. Well, let's see if we can see more. Volley goes up. Up. Depot goes down this time. And we're just committing to the all-in, by the way. we're not stopping. We're committing to the all-in. Adepts, they do shade in between the bases. They catch out some of the Marines. Not bad. They get one. They get two. Two Marines go down. That depot is dodging so hard. It was crazy. Deepers, they cracked. Oh my god. As Classic does elevator into the main, going for the warp in, does commit. Boys are being pulled, the tank has arrived, there is siege mode. We're can he fortify within range, he does pull back. But the tank, it's just too far back. Yeah, the tank is out of position. Marines are going down, and Classic has control of the main base. The main base under control of the Protoss. Does force to evacuate. Does force a lift. Yeah, Spirit moving down. Does move down. One base versus one base. Let's go. Now, bearing in mind, these tanks will also have a chance to miss, as they're going to be shooting up into the high ground. True. Classic does clean up all the depots. Cleans everything up in the main. Oh, we have 3 layers of elevation here. Classic still reinforcing. With these adepts, he can try to shade on top of the tanks or even into the mineral line and force friendly fire. We'll see if he commits. Shade is coming in. He's going for the tank. It's gonna be 3 tanks. There's the Unsiege. Yeah, as I'll say, dive on the tanks. First one is going to be target. He gets 1 tank so far. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets all 3. And with that, Classic, he does it. He breaks the natural. He breaks through the main army. Initially, it was a clutch hold there from Spirits, but alas, I could not stop this. GG gets caught, and Classic, he will overwhelm. He will take the series 3-2, becoming this week's KungFu Cup StarCraft Evolution champion. GG. Whew. GG, well played. As Classic, he will claim the series. Spirit, he will be knocked out. Again, a very, very intense back and forth, went all the way to the ace match, and I'll be honest, I mean, they all had their own quirks to them. It was a really interesting and really entertaining finals. I loved both games on the island maps, referring to Neo Isles of Siren and Paradox. We had a crazy back and forth on Amygdala in the Brutal versus Brutal match. Honestly, that went the distance, and that was the longest game that we've had in the entire broadcast as well. Seeing like Mass Mech versus a Mass Gateway composition, it was really fun and really cool to see. I think that might have been the highlight for the night, to be honest. We had a crazy back and forth on Return of the King. I think Return of the King again did like emphasize how crazy that map is and how many angles of attack there are as well. How exposed the main base is to the elements of the rest of the map. So the map did come into play. And yeah, really impressive performance here. Again, we do expect a lot from Spirit and Classic, and I'm happy to see they went all the way to the ace match. They went the distance. That was beautiful. GG, well played. When it comes to the rest of the tournament, un momento. As I do want to have a look at the bracket itself, because I wasn't quite able to see it earlier. Let us switch our scenes over. Let's catch up. Let's catch up on the bracket here. Bam. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so we're only showing the quarterfinals here. Bratok took down Björn. So someone was asking earlier about Björn. Björn did compete in this broadcast, in this tournament, but Bratok took him down. Again, Björn, he's a little bit less experienced when it comes to StarCraft Evolution, so he had a good performance making it to the quarterfinals, but he did get taken out 2-0. We had Spirit take down Skillus 2-1. Again, we did cover that. That was an intense back and forth, an intense matchup. We had Dark taking down Prone. We had Classic taking down Geralt. Okay, so we had our quarterfinals matches. We did cover both of the semis, Spirit over Bratok and Classic over Dark. Classic over Dark was really interesting. Like, that felt like a lot of mind games. Both in game 1 and game 2, it looks like Classic, he was just really familiar with Dark's style. Dark maybe being a little bit too predictable in both games, and Classic read him like a book. It was very impressive, both on Monty Hall and also on, was it Amygdala as game 2? Yeah, Monty Hall on Amygdala. It was really cool to see Classic kind of read Dark and just, yeah, tear him apart, just countering him at every turn. It was really impressive. That led us, of course, into the grand finals. And again, there's a reason why Classic, he is the strongest Protoss player currently in StarCraft Evolution. Still went to the ace match, by the way, and part of that is also because of the maps. As a reminder, we featured a lot of island maps, and this is a rare sight. Typically, in a lot of these tournaments, we only feature one island map, either Neo Isles of Siren or Paradox. We rarely see both, which is what was hyped about this series. we got both of them, baby. Oh my, it was crazy. Classic did come out on top. Likewise, we did have a back and forth here, Spirit returning in Amygdala and Return of the King. Again, if you missed it, I do recommend Amygdala. Amygdala was a lot of fun, so I do recommend checking out game 3 of the VOD, and I mean really every game all had something to bring to the table. And then we had Classic committing to the one base all in towards the end in Ultra Love. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Classic, and shout out to all the other competitors. Shout out to Spirit, Bratok and Dark for getting 2nd, 3rd and 4th place respectively, and to all the other competitors in the tournament as well. GG, well played. It's catching up in the chat. That's catching up. When did Spirit have the time to figure out Brood War? He's young. Spirit, he's devoted a lot of time to StarCraft Evolution. A lot of time. And I don't think he's played much Brood War. I don't think you necessarily need to play Brood War to enjoy StarCraft Evolution. There's actually a lot of like younger players even stepping into the ring, which has been a lot of fun to see. Like, we know that Geralt, for example, like, he's never played Brood War. Like, he doesn't know what he's getting into. But you can still enjoy it nonetheless and improve at it and excel. For sure. Guess mostly a Zerg buff. It's just a defensive buff. If we're referring to the mischance is very much so just defensive buff. It does mean, I say defensive. I say it does favor, of course, defending players, but it also does kind of make the map more dynamic. It gives much more credence or much more importance to high ground and to certain features of maps as well, which is really cool to see. It makes positional play even more important. Yeah, as Avex is saying, it's a competitive mechanic and implemented defender's advantage. Yeah, for sure. Zerg probably not. Zerg, I mean, yeah, as they're getting into in StarCraft Evolution, lurkers, hydras, plenty of range-based units, for sure. I'd argue to drop off too. As Avex is saying, and as we're kind of getting into it, just favors like positional play and map awareness. It does kind of make certain positions stronger, and likewise, it also makes players more aware of the strength of certain positions as well. I think we kind of saw that in, I think it was it Classic versus Spirit on, no, it wasn't Classic versus Spirit, but it was a game on Ley Lines, where you had, it was a Bratok, that's it, Bratok versus Spirit, where I believe Bratok, he was set up in the center of the map. He was set up in the center, kind of in the tall grass, and Spirit didn't see that. He didn't see him, but again, he was aware of that position, so he just avoided it. He just completely avoided it. He didn't like commit. He like bypassed it entirely, like things like that. It just makes certain features of the map more interesting, more impactful, more dynamic. Gives them more weight. It's definitely nice to see, and we don't get to see it implemented too often. Again, like, it's a relatively recent change, so yeah, it's definitely fun to see, and a really nice change. That was one of the bigger changes to StarCraft Evolution. There's another big change that was also recent, I want to say in the month of March, which was the economy change. For those that are curious, I don't believe it was implemented in this tournament, but in the next one, there is going to be more minerals in the main bases. I believe mineral patches and I believe gases as well have increased minerals on gas, and this is to make 1 and 2 base play more viable, to not punish players as much for staying on a lower base count. So that's going to be a crazy change coming into April and coming into the rest of our tournaments. So looking forward to it. Again, I think some people, especially when they see StarCraft Evolution for the first time, they assume like, oh, like it's like Brood War versus SE2, and like that's it, and like the game isn't really adjusted or the game isn't patched, and it's just like, you know, flat out's like, you know, one race versus the other. But the reality is that there's a lot of care, there's a lot of attention put into balancing, put into patching, put into adjusting and changing and making it as competitive as possible, as interesting as possible, to keeping things balanced. So a shout out to the team, like they do actively patch and adjust the game and implement new changes and port new maps and update the map pool. Like, there is definitely a lot of care put into the mod, and a lot of care put into the tournament competitive scene of the mod as well. So big shout out to those working behind the scenes, whether it's working on the more technical side of things or even on the more artistic side of things. Big shout out. Big shout out. Not just mains, yeah, all bases, all bases. I had to fight tooth and nail for that change. It's the Avex. Let's go, let's go. reverts to pre-Legacy of the Void Eco. Yes. Yeah, it just increases the amount of resources available at those expansions. Many a tooth was shed. Let's go. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Hope you all had a great time. When it comes to our next broadcast, once again, this was a replay cast. Once again, this event did occur at the same time as the Rex March Madness, and of course, we did prioritize the Rex March Madness. That's why we couldn't cast this live. When it comes to the rest of our broadcasting here, we do have some more KungFu Cup on Friday. So we're still catching up. There have been a lot of KungFu Cup StarCraft Evolution tournaments, and we are just working on way through them. KungFu Cup number 5 is going to be another replay cast on Friday. Meanwhile, we have KungFu Giants Cup Thursday morning. We don't have another broadcast this evening, as we do have a half a day off here Wednesday evening and Friday evening as well. We have the podcast on Thursday. I'm sure there's a lot to discuss. When it comes to the podcast, hold on. Do I have a teaser for you? What are we talking about this week? Let's see. Discord. I mean, I guess the obvious one, of course, is video game companies vying for the IP of SE2 to make their own games. I think some people might have the wrong idea about that. For the most part, you should be, depending on which company takes it. I mean, there's a high chance that there's going to be like an MMO or like a mobile game. Bearing in mind that I don't think any of the companies that are bidding for the IP have any big experience in an RTS. So I think most people have gotten the grasp of it. Like, this does not mean like another RTS game. This most likely means a different variation of game with the StarCraft IP. But we're probably going to be discussing that a little bit more in depth. What else? What else do we have? There was, oh right, there's the Take interview. True, we're going to be talking about Take. Likewise, there was a recent change to Troy, where I believe they increased the HP and shields on the gas geysers on Troy, sorry, on the simulators on Troy. What else? Yeah, just some news here and there. I look forward to it. Oh right, there was also so there was an interview with Take from Take TV, and also there was another video made on slower players in SE2, which we're probably going to be discussing alongside all the other tournament results. So yeah, with that, you can check out the podcast. Again, that is our weekly talk show on StarCraft 2, talking about news and adjacent news of SE2 and esports. So we do go over that over the podcast. Likewise, we do have KSL on Saturday, Hatchery Cups, Sparkling Tuna Cup, and Sea Duckling Open as well. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft on the horizon. SE Immortal, Pepega. I mean, I'll be honest, I might play it. Like again, when it comes to like a StarCraft 2 mobile game or a StarCraft 2 even MMO, like I might be tempted to try it out just because it's StarCraft. I'll be honest. Is it going to be good? I mean, if it's good, that'll be even better. But we'll see. We'll see. StarCraft 3, not at all. Not at all. Copium. It might not be RTS. I mean, it most likely isn't RTS. Like, it's very important to set expectations when it comes to that. Very important. There's a very almost 0% chance it's going to be like RTS related. Maybe like I don't know, like a tower defense, or you know what I would actually really enjoy, like a hex based game, like a hex based like turn based like RPG featuring like StarCraft. Like there are so many other kind of games that you can like go for. I'd be all about that. Like what's an example of a game that I'm thinking of that's like hex based? Like imagine like XCOM. Like imagine XCOM that's like StarCraft. Like, yo, I'd be all over. I love XCOM. I'd be all over that. Like SE2 XCOM, let's go. I don't think that's gonna happen either. I'll be like looking at the history of these devs, like I don't think they're gonna go for that either. But you know, like I'd be all for that sort of thing. Civ, maybe. Age of Wonders, maybe as well. Depends on the type of game, to be honest. To be honest, if it were a gacha, true. Age of StarCraft. Do you think we'll get any form of continued balancing from SE2? I think so. Like, as in, I think it's easy to expect what we've been getting so far, assuming that I mean, there are a lot of rumors that SE2 is going to be announced in 2 weeks for EWC. If that's the case, then, and if the deal goes through, then ESL will be incentivized to have seasonal patches, as we have been getting for the past couple of years. I do not expect any more regular patches than that. That, I think, is like some copium. Copium from my side is that I would love to see a new ladder map pool before the season of EWC. I don't think we will, just because even though, like, I'm already sick of the current maps in the current SE2 ladder map pool, which is why as tournament organizers we've already replaced them. The reality is that this is a new map pool. Like, the reality is that we got these maps. We got like Amygdala and Ley Lines and Ultra Love like in November, right? Like with the new patch. And we haven't had like a proper tournament circuit with them. So yeah, like that's my biggest concern, is that we're gonna be stuck with this map pool for a season of EWC. I would love to see the TLMC maps instead. But yeah. You mean you don't like Abyssal Reef? Crazy. I mean, no one likes Abyssal Reef. But yeah, like, that's like the introduction of Abyssal Reef, Neo Violet Square, and King's Cove. That's pretty recent, right? Like, that was what, November, right? That was post last EWC. So my biggest concern is that we're gonna be stuck with this map pool coming into the next EWC. Like, that's my big concern. Less so like the patch. I'm sure the top Terrans do. Even they don't like him. Even they get rid of them. I mean, they play them, of course. I guess in a sense, like, in a sense, they enjoy them in that way. But I think everyone is content with like wiping the slate clean and getting a new map pool. I don't think you'd get objections even from like players that are benefiting from this map pool, right? But with that, we're wrapping up. With that, we are wrapping up. With that, thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you want to help support the KranKy Ducklings, you can do so via following us. You can follow us here on Twitch. You can follow us over on YouTube as well. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. Just catching up. Just catching up. Do the players choose if they want to play Brutal or not? In this tournament, they don't choose. They're forced one way and then the other. Go. Otherwise, with that, we're going to be wrapping up. So you can follow us on YouTube. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis, so do check us out there. Likewise, we also do have TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all things KranKy Ducklings. We're all over the place. Wasn't last game pick? Yes. I should emphasize that. They kind of forced certain races, but the last one was whatever they wanted. That is true. Last map was player's choice. But yeah, with that, we're wrapping up here for the day. We're going to be back tomorrow. I was tempted to have a ladder session. I would love to stream, but this broadcast did go on a little bit longer, 5 hours, because we did have a delayed start. We had like an hour and a half long like wait before the tournament started, before the broadcast started, so I do apologize. So I'm gonna go get some breakfast. I'm gonna go get some food, gonna go get some rest, and gonna be streaming some Final Fantasy later on tonight. If you want to tune into my own personal streams, !light in the chat. I do stream whenever I can, whenever I'm not casting, and I should be streaming later on tonight, but not StarCraft 2, most likely some Final Fantasy, so do tune in there if you're interested. Otherwise, thank you for watching. If you want, you can also support us on Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Our Patreon is set up to fund our tournaments, SDO, STC, and MSO, 3 events here on a regular basis. They're all funded via Patreon, and you can see our Patreon goal just underneath the graphic. We're almost at our next goal. Thank you so much to all of our supporters here on the channel. We do appreciate it. We have reached so many goals so quickly over the past couple of months. Thank you so much for the support. Our next goal is at 500 USD a month. That is to boost the prize pool even further of Sparkling Tunica. So thank you. Thank you so much to all of our patrons. Otherwise, we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft for KungFu Giants Cup and the podcast. See you then. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.